were talking earlier, Mike, you're going to this.
Yeah, I'm going. I went last year, and it was an absolute blast. Last year, it was really hot out there, and I think this year is going to be very similar. So, obviously, with those types of festivals, when you're, drinking beer, stay hydrated. That's really the key, especially we're going to have all that sunshine until about 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so liquids. Elvis juice.
Yes.
Water,
yes.
Elvis juice.
Yes. Good
I'm just
plan.
saying.
Balance.
It's always a good plan. Hydration.
Yes. Liquids.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend for anything outside. It's very busy here in Central Ohio. We have football tonight, week 5 of high school football. If you can believe it, we're already almost halfway through the season. But for now, we're tracking fog again, especially in southeastern communities like Cambridge and our 10 TV tower cam, ever so slightly hazy. Not so bad out in Heath and Newark and Licking County, and maybe some fog out in the distance. And Buckeye Lake is clear right now. We're still about an hour and a half before sunrise. That's coming our way at 7:14. 59 degrees at the moment, and the wind calm. That's why we are still pretty chilly this morning, and that's why we have some fog in some areas. High pressure holding steady over the Appalachian Mountains of Pennsylvania today, but this warm front is really going to drive our weather heading into most of the weekend and next week. Rain still several days away for us, so if you've been looking for some natural rain for some plants that you're working on in the garden, we're still, again, a couple days away, but Doppler 10 is sweeping clean because of that, and our satellite is clear. Zooming in, though, temperature-wise, 55 in Mount Vernon, Bucyrus and Marion at 57, 59 at John Glenn Airport, 55 in London. Marysville coming in at 52. That's our cool spot, but we won't be that cool all day. Once we get past sunrise, we warm up quickly, and by the time we get to lunch, we're in the upper 70s, mid-80s this afternoon, so a little bit warmer than yesterday. We'll hold steady there for a while. And then for Friday night football games tonight, we have temperatures in the mid to upper 70s to kick off and then steadily falling after sunset. So for warm-ups and for tailgates, 83. Kickoff at 78 degrees. Watch out for that first quarter sun, especially if you're facing west tonight. Halftime for the marching band, 74. And then on the way home, hopefully a win for your home team in the 60s. A comfortable drive. We can put the windows down for that one. Overnight, though, temperatures will dip into the low 60s. So tomorrow morning, a little bit warmer than we are right now, but overall pretty comfortable if you're walking around or heading out early. And then by noon tomorrow, we're already at 80 degrees, mid 80s again tomorrow. And that sets us up for another great weather night for the Buckeyes taking on the Toledo Rockets at the Shoe tomorrow night. Warm-ups, mid 80s. Tailgaters, it's going to be a warm one. Heed my advice. Wear sunscreen for this one if you're going to be tailgating, because last week I was there and I certainly got sunburned. So don't do what I did last weekend. Keep that sunscreen out for another weekend, because even though we're approaching fall, the sun is still intense. Kickoff 83 at 7. Halftime for the band at 78. Final score 75. Then our allergy index is relatively moderate heading into the weekend in ragweed, typical for September, but grasses and mold are on the low side. High pressure, though, starts to move off to the east by Monday. That's our next chance of rain ahead of a cold front. It's not going to cool us down much. In fact, we're actually going to be getting more humid Tuesday and Wednesday, which will be quiet days, but by Wednesday, upper 80s returning before another cold front just after the first day of fall on Thursday pushes through, potentially a shower or two heading into Thursday night into Friday, but that'll finally cool us down. And again, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the first half of Thursday looking a little bit more on the humid side. Temperatures in the upper I should say mid-80s through the weekend, and then all the way up to 87 next Wednesday. Let's expand to our 10-day forecast. We have 70s finally after the first day of fall next Thursday.
This system is very dynamic, meaning that we have a lot of different factors that are going to cause problems for us here in Central Ohio. So let's start to break this down first with the timing of this system. This cold front, very strong, about to approach the Indiana and Ohio state line. So over the next couple of hours, we are going to stay rain, but look what happens. Between about 11 and 1 a.m., we are going to see that flash freeze, that transition from rain to snow, and moderate to heavy snow overnight. By tomorrow morning, it'll turn into light snow, but look at those white lines on the screen there. Those are what we call isobars, lines of equal pressure. The more of those you have stacked together, that means there's a bigger change in pressure and higher wind. This is going to intensify as it moves up into Ontario, Canada throughout Friday. So at that point, we're only going to see very light additional accumulation, but heavy blowing snow is going to make it seem like it is still snowing. Cleared roads, the snow will blow right back on it. That's going to continue Friday evening and even into Christmas Eve morning. Still windy, blowing snow, dangerous wind chill values, and that continues throughout our Christmas Eve. But as we head into Christmas Day, still breezy, wind chill values 15 to 20 below, and then heading into Monday, calming down a little, but a slight chance of light snow Monday evening. So what does that mean for snow totals overall? 1 to 3 inches for the majority of central Ohio, with 2 to 4, possibly slightly more than that north, Marion, Mansfield, Bell Fountain. The issue is that with all the blowing snow, the totals aren't going to matter all that much. In fact, we have additional issues that are going to come with that wind and intense cold, and Madison has more on that.
Bring in Doppler 10 meteorologist Mike Joyce, who was really tracking the path of these storms very, very meticulously yesterday. And we're hearing that major tornado that went through Kentucky probably broke a record, being on the ground for so long and for so far.
Absolutely, and forensic meteorologists is what we like to call it. They're the meteorologists who go in after the storm to try to figure out the path. They are going to determine whether or not it was on the ground for 200 straight miles, but there's a pretty good chance that happened. But let's focus in Hardin County right now. This is a radar loop from 3 a.m. to 3:30 yesterday morning, and this is what produced a brief EF1 tornado just south of Ada. And this happened at the intersection of Route 309 and 235, again, just south of downtown Ada. And the tornado was on the ground from 306 to 310 yesterday morning, and it traveled 1.6 miles. So again, here it is on the map with 235 running east and west, and State Route 309 running north and south through Ada. And it did cause some damage to some sheds and tore the roof off of a couple homes and a couple barns in the area. But let's head back down to Arkansas, where this mess completely started yesterday just before 6 o'clock. That is the beginning of the parent supercell just before 6 o'clock. And here it is moving across Arkansas into the southern tip of Missouri and then into western Kentucky. There's Mayfield right there, pausing at 10:30 p.m. That's when the tornado struck town. This is a textbook supercell thunderstorm with this area of no rain showing up in a big splotch of heavy rain. That is because the updraft of the storm is so strong. The tornado is so strong it can't rain. All the rain gets sucked right back up into it. And that's what happened. Strong wind going in, strong wind coming on the backside. In fact, this storm had the strongest wind ever recorded on a land-based Doppler radar out of Paducah, Kentucky. Absolutely incredible. And that stayed as a tornado-warned storm all across Kentucky, but Bowling Green near Western Kentucky University being impacted by an EF3 tornado at 2:15 our time, 1:15 Central Time, where Bowling Green is located. But this storm was still packing a punch with a tornado warning just as it crossed into Ohio. It became a severe thunderstorm in Ross and Scioto County. So that's the same storm that produced the big tornado in Mayfield. Then it merged with rain pushing into Vinton and Athens County, not causing any damage for us there. So this cell was severe and tornado warned for almost 500 miles from Arkansas right to the Ohio River in our backyard. Thankfully, in Ohio, we did have minimal severe weather damage other than that tornado up in Hardin County. But coming up, I'll break down how long we'll see sunshine today and if we're going to be warming right back up again this week.